last year, maybe about this time, I was watching TV and I got my little house from home journal and I saw a news report and I read in the paper about a young man who was advocating for some accessibility features in Warner Robins. And I said, I'd like to have him come speak to the Lions Club. And so I just blindly texted him and said, hey, you think you might like to speak to the Lions Club sometime? And he's finally here. This is Armando Villas. He works for Disability Connections, and they're headquartered in Macon, but he'll tell you more about them. He's an independent living coordinator for Disability Connections. He also is an advocate for accessibility and a disability advocate. So let him come tell you some about who he is, what he does, and what some of his causes are. And I hope y'all enjoy meeting him.
Can everybody hear me?
Speak up a little bit.
Can anyone hear me?
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that introduction. As you know already, I am an independent living coordinator at Disability Connections. I actually work part-time, not full-time, but it is an honor to speak, a pleasure to speak tonight about what I do. So here's a little introduction about me. My name is Armando Villas. Obviously, I was born blind. My cause of blindness was premature. I was born premature at 28 weeks. And they gave me too much oxygen.
Can you speak a little louder, please?
They gave me too much oxygen. That's what's caused my blindness. When I was little, I attended the Georgia Caterpillar Blind in Macon, and then I went to regular school, kindergarten, and I went to regular school until 8th grade, and I decided to go back to the academy. Fast forward through high school, I've actually started getting in the door of a blindness consumer organization like the National Federation of the Blind. I went to my first state convention in 2017 in Atlanta, and it was a good convention. And that's all right. That's okay. That's okay. 2018. In 2018, I went to my second convention, which was in Albany. And that year, I actually went to my first National Federation of the Blind, the National Convention in Orlando, Florida. But what got me to start advocating is one of my social studies teacher who tells us everything what's going on in the world, and that's why I started advocating. And okay, so
Yes.
should I tell about the?
What do you do at Disability Connections?
Okay, here's what I do at Disability Connections. I'm an independent living coordinator, as you already know. I work part-time. Most of right now I am doing projects, Sometimes I may answer emails. And I also help with technology as well, such as, for example, we did a camp a while back last month, which it landed on the week of the Americans with Disabilities Act. It was called a media camp for people with disabilities, not just the blind, but all people with disabilities to experience. It is actually towards the youth. It's actually called the Youth Media Camp. What I did at the Youth Media Camp was listen to the live stream to make sure that the stream is going well. Yes, we had technical issues, but but that's what to expect the first year of a camp that's being streamed. So let's talk about Disability Connections. It is our mission is to enable all people with disabilities to attain and have access to all opportunities in life. I have a brochure in front of me. Unfortunately, I don't have a printed copy. But if you would like to request a digital copy, just let me know. I'll send that out to you once I get back in the office. So starting from the top, it says Disability Connections, and below that it says to enable all people with disabilities to attain and have access to all opportunities in life. And below that is the address, which is 3695 Broadway, Macon, Georgia 31206. Our phone number is 478-741-1425. I'm going to say it a little bit slower. So it's 478-741-1425. You can also text this phone number. You can also fax with this phone number. And we also have a toll-free number, which is 800-743-2117. And we have the 711 Georgia Relay. And we have a website, which is www.disabilityconnections.com. And we also have a community as well for people with disabilities to join. It's disabilityconnections.tv. We are a nonprofit organization run by people with disabilities, and we also serve people with disabilities.
How big is your area that you serve?
We serve 12 counties. We serve Baldwin, Bibb, Crawford, Houston, Jasper, Jones, Monroe, Peach, Pulaski, Putnam, Twiggs, and Wilkinson counties.
Where did y'all have your camp at?
We had it at our main office. We have like a studio in the back of the office. That's where we met.
So, as an independent living consultant, what services would you offer to somebody who might be going blind?
We offer the following services. There's information and resource referral. Make sense of information and community resources that relate to disability. We have peer support, which connects people with disabilities with peers who share their valuable life experiences We also do advocacy. We empower individuals to advocate in their own lives and advocating for the rights of all people with disabilities. We also do independent living skills training, which gives people with disabilities the knowledge and skills to lead more productive and independent lives. Independent lives, yeah. And we also do transition, which assists people with relocating from nursing facilities or institutions. We also keep people from going into a nursing home or an institution. We also transition from school to community living in the community. And Disability Connections is consumer control. We have board of directors and staff made of a majority of people with significant disabilities. We are a non-residential center, which means we don't house people at night, and we also serve people of all ages with all types of disabilities. We are partially funded by the United States Department of Health and Human Services under the Independent Living Administration, Georgia Vocational Rehab Agency, and by other funding support, including private donations. And it is actually, we use Disability Connections as doing business as, but it's called the Middle Georgia Center for Independent Living, and we have one last thing is we have an email address in which it is info@dis, it's going to be long, so it's INFO, the @ DISABILITIONS.com, and that's the brochure. Okay.
Alright, so when I said I saw you on television, what project was that you were advocating for, and what adventures or what contacts have you made in doing that?
I reached out to first of all I reached out to House and Home Journal because right now I have my own website, and on my website I have technically I'm the only one that runs the website, but but I have all my letters that I wrote to people, contacts, because that way for me is to show that I'm advocating, instead of just saying, oh, I wrote this letter to this person, and people was like, where's the proof? So I post almost each letter that I wrote to them. If it's like a major company or an official, such as the mayor. And recently, I sent a letter to David Hale, who is in charge of the traffic signals. Unfortunately, I haven't heard back from him yet, but I forwarded that email to the mayor's assistant, Christy Hall. I'm pretty sure the mayor knows about it now, and also I've been trying to get the council meetings to be on Zoom since citizens of Warner Robins, some citizens may not be able to drive to have their voices heard, and I want everyone's voice to be heard, no matter if they have a disability or can't just get in a car and just drive.
What have you done toward trying to get some transportation so people could get around? What's your project been there?
How do I say it? Unfortunately, I wasn't able to do that much on the transportation, but there's actually some good news. I saw the mayor earlier, almost 2 weeks ago. What was it? Yeah. No, was it Sunday? The 13th. I actually saw the mayor and they asked that. And the good news is that we're moving slowly, but the downside is that we might not have like a mass transit system. We might have a shuttle system. But the good news is that the mayor told us that she's trying to work on it and all that stuff.
Armando, roughly, how old are you? How long are you out of school now?
I've been out of school since 2021. I actually stayed an extra year to complete project search at the Academy of the Blind. I was going to graduate during the COVID pandemic. You know how that went. But I ended up staying an extra year and graduated, and I actually took a gap year, but I have been working at Disability Connections for almost 9 months now, and I really like it so far.
Do you have a petition out for people to sign?
Yes. I almost. We do have a petition. It's on change.org. You can also access it from my website. It's armandovias.com, which I'll be happy to share the website with you. And it's under advocacy, the advocacy efforts tab. You click on petitions, and there's a button that is linked to the change.org petition. And it's been a while since I last checked, but it has over 100 signatures. And it has been started over a year ago.
So something I've done and observed you doing, I provide transportation for several blind people. And almost every time we get out, Armando says, I'd like to go here, or can we look around here? What are you looking for when you survey a building? You do a lot of building surveys. What are you looking for?
I wanted to make sure that those buildings have accessibility, such as braille signs. I understand some buildings may be old, but for me, I expect minimum like braille signs, and also if it's like a public building and it has to have like a button that opens the door.
I don't know if you told me, Monica, I don't know if you're aware, we actually have a camp down in Waycross, Georgia, that is run by the Lions of Georgia.
Mm-hmm. I actually went to that camp before. Yes.
Well, what you may not know, or you may have heard, she may have told you, I'm the president of the camp this year.
Oh.
And one of our big projects that we've done in the last 2 years is the trail signage all over our camp.
Ooh. I
Every building you go to has trail signage. along our trail, the walking trail,
Mm-hmm.
and our fish pond that rail signage at every over rock climbing wall, rail signage there. We completed that in the last 2 years because that's something we've heard more than once that people, needed that. Obviously, I can't read braille and you can.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But that was a big project for us to make sure that signage was there to help, you get around.
Yeah.
We updated the sidewalks, they have been widened, and we have ramps that do that each of our villages.
Yeah. Also, I have a question too, but who's in charge of the website, the glcb.org? Who makes that website?
Okay, so we have one of our members that's in charge of it.
Oh, okay.
You got some suggestions?
I
I tell you what, my card's got my email on it. If you will email me those,
okay.
I will make sure that we look at those.
Okay.
That's what we're looking for.
Yeah.
Is we want to know what we can do to make that more accessible for you and more helpful.
Okay.
So, did we cover your advocacy? You work with other disabilities too. You told me recently you attended a meeting yesterday or today? Today.
I actually attended the meeting today. It was by the Georgia Council on Developmental Disabilities. This is still new to me, so I don't have a lot of information, but they really want to increase the rate study so people can be paid more to, I could be wrong or right about this, but to pay people who caretakers or something like that. And the governor changed it to like they want the disability community to end the waiting list, so people can receive those waivers.
Receive services and caregiver waivers. The biggest thing that Armando has shared with me that he does is doing petitions and also contacting city, county, and state officials. He's worked with Miranda Patrick some, and he's writing letters to everybody and advocating for things. We've surveyed a couple of buildings, and he sends reports to these businesses and tells them, here's how you could increase accessibility. Right, Armando?
I haven't talked to the mayor about the city recreation center yet, but hopefully soon I'll sit down with her virtually, if it's Zoom or something.
The big new one?
The big recreation building.
Does anybody else have any questions? I see Armando as one of our young community members who is advocating for what this community needs.
Mm-hmm. And
as
also, we don't have accessible sidewalks where it talks to you. Recently, I went to Texas, and they have this. I know it's a big city, but since Warner Robins is growing, we need these accessible sidewalks that counts down and talks to you, like walk signs across this. In Augusta, they have that. It's on Broad Street in downtown Augusta.
And that's what you were talking to the city transportation people about, was the signage and
the
talking signs.
Yes, I forwarded that email to the mayor's. No. I've actually mentioned Lester Miller on my Facebook page. I do have a public Facebook page. It has over 100 likes so far. I had to create a new one since something wrong with the old one, but.
Well, Armando,
yes.
I think you're doing a great job getting started in this and working on it. And thank you for speaking to us.
Yeah.
And Jay's over there.
All right. We have a little something for you. I'm going to reach right over here. Just pull it out. You're good. That's actually, I'm coming over your desk. You go. We have a certificate for you. It says Certificate of Appreciation. May it be known that Armando Visas, that's that right? Vias, Disability Connections, was the guest speaker at the Centerville Lions Club on August the 21st, 2023. As an expression of appreciation for the courtesies extended to this club, we hereby present this certificate dated 21 August 2023. And it's signed by our president and also by our secretary.
Thank you. Thank you.